Morning. So myself, I am Ravi Teja. So I completed my bachelor's in electronics and communication engineering. Later, I have completed my master's in sensor system technology, which I have pursued in the VIT University, Vellore, Tamil Nadu. I have trained that different courses, train students on different courses like the VHDL, Verilog, System Verilog, and as well as embedded C, LabVIEW, console, multi-physics software. So various kinds of softwares which is in the electronics as well as in the biomedical engineering. So later, which I have done the projects in Indian Space Research Organization for Chandrayaan 2 and Mangalyaan. So later I have hello friends, good morning. So myself, I am Ravi Teja. So which I have training Python training in the Go Online trainings. So the next further plan is which I am planning to start the machine learning as well as in the data science course. So which myself I have completed my master's MTech, my qualification. So which I completed my master's in sensor system technology from VIT University, Vellore, Tamil Nadu. So later I have done the projects in Indian Space Research Organization for Chandrayaan 2 and Mangalyaan. So later I have started my as a teaching career for 4 years, which I worked and I have trained the various softwares for an engineering students. So which I have given the training for the placement also, which related to all the software courses, which is purely related to for electronics and as well as in the biomedical. So later, which I have started my career in the as I have started my own startup in the artificial intelligence. So that is on the machine learning as well as data science. So related this AI startup which I started, and I received the patent from an Indian government which is related to healthcare product. So and which I collaborated with so many super specialty hospitals in Hyderabad. So which we used to get the data from the sources, so where and which we required. And even we have started with some of the projects related to agriculture also. So later I have joined in one of the MNC. There I am currently working as a data scientist. From This is from my side, and actually we are planning to start as well as not only specific course that is machine learning, even the deep learning also. We have the further plans that is combining of the machine learning and the deep learning and the Python. All these things combinedly we can call it as a data science. So this is a plan. So this course is not only for machine learning. If anyone is interested to do for the both machine learning as well as deep learning, combinedly you can join as data science course. This course is not specially only for technical or non-technical. There is no restriction. So anyone can join. So we will train you people from the scratch. So there is no restriction that only the specific kind of people, that is only for if you know any mathematics, only those people only have to join. If you don't know mathematics, you don't need to join, like that kind of things we don't keep in your mind. Even if any non-technical background who is from the who don't have knowledge in mathematics also, just we will get train them here itself from the scratch. That is the data science. This is first thing is who anyone can join and anyone can learn this course. This course is very huge demand. This is a which is the most trending job in a IT industry. Whenever if you take the first course, whatever the plenty of jobs available in the market, the first place goes to data science only. So this is the first place which it goes to, data science. So all the data science course which we will cover in this Go online trainings where we'll cover all the machine learning as well as deep learning and natural language processing, all the courses which we'll cover. And if you learn this course by fresher itself, you will get the starting salary nearly 14 to 15 lakhs is also there for fresher itself. So for experienced people, you will getting more than 35, 40 lakh also. So that is an current trending. So that is if you depends on experience. If you keep an experience and if you go for learning this data science course, if you try, definitely you will get the more high package compared to all other courses that I can give the challenge for this data science course. So if you learn the perfect way in the machine learning, deep learning in perfect way from scratch to end, definitely you can get the data science job, which will be the most highest demand job by 2026. So even the coders, even the developers, testers, whoever it is there, even that also is replacing by data science. So which is entirely is going on for automation. So the automation which can be possible with the help of artificial intelligence only. From daily, if you are seeing the mobile phone, if you are seeing any kind of web application or desktop application, wherever if you see any kind of website, whatever we are doing from daily from the starting to ending. So we just so every day we are using daily, we are seeing the kind of YouTube videos. So whenever we see some kind of YouTube video, automatically the recommendation which is coming based on your interest, based on your genius, whatever you are seeing, some kind of comedy movies, for example, the similar way the related to that kind of comedy scenes, comedy movies which you are able to see, the recommendations which you are getting. Suppose if you are watching any kind of movie, automatically recommendation which is coming automatically So if you see the kind of YouTube videos, so whatever the video if you are seeing, automatically it is getting recommended. What are the video by genre if you are seeing kind of video like the uh, comedy scenes, whatever if you are seeing. The similar way the comedy movies which are related to that it is able to show, or some kind of any related to some educational videos if you are watching the similar kind of educational videos, automatically it is recommending. So all these are kind of an artificial intelligence. This is a data science applications only. How it is happening, everything we will learn from the scratch, how it is getting. In this course, we'll cover all these contents in this course, as well as if we are seeing the whenever we are writing some email and the email we are receiving automatically, if we are sending again, if we want to send the email response back, automatically automated responses which is generating in the email itself. This is also possible of an artificial intelligence application only. uh, uh, in the same way, for the if you are taking Ola, Uber, Swiggy, Zomato, all these kind of apps, what we are seeing daily, or every time for at morning time, the price will be one cost, price will be one fare. Again, if you say the same, if you are trying to book the from one source to another destination. So afternoon time again the price will be varied. So morning time the price will be one fare, and afternoon when you are checking that same destination, the fare will be changed. So every time the fare will get changed based on the time also. So all this is possible of through because of an artificial intelligence application only. Even the Swiggy and Zomato. So estimated time of delivery of the food, it will take this much time. They will be going to tell. So that is also kind of the prediction which they are telling that this is the time which it will take to reach to your place. In the similar way, suppose if you are writing some kind of a text documentation, some kind of documentation if you are writing, so you don't know the meaning of that entire document. There are 20 to 100 lines of document are there. So if you want to know about the exact meaning of that document, and start into some kind of softwares which we got nowadays. That is entire document. If you keep place in that software, you will get the a summary. So if you're having 20 to 30 lines pages of the document, you don't have that enough time, you don't have that kind of patience to read that entire document. In order to know what kind of matter it is there in that in that document, just you can keep that software that keep the text into one software, automatically it is able to show that the summary of that entire document. This is also a possible of the artificial intelligence. All this will be covering in this course. So all these kind of applications, how we are going to do. And later, if we are checking the uh, some other application like the image facial detection. Nowadays, facial based attendance recognition. Suppose if we are going nowadays to the office, instead of previously we used to keep the thumb biometric. So for biometric, we every office we used to record the attendance. So nowadays, what is happening? So instead of keeping the thumb every time, or somebody else is keeping, some manipulations can be done by with the help of this biometric. So that is also can be overcome through facial based attendance recognition. Whenever you are entering into an office, by the camera will be captured your face automatically. The face whatever it is there, it is captured automatically with respect to your name in your company database. It get marked it as an absent or present based on your face. So this is an also possible with the help of an artificial intelligence. This comes under the computer vision. So in the similar way, if you take the in the healthcare, if we take in the healthcare, suppose if we have the some kind of the CT scan images. In the CT scan images, by seeing the CT scan image, the doctor is used to tell that which kind of disease you are having. Like that, the doctor has to tell based on the kind of image. So by seeing the doctor, so one doctor used to tell that, so this kind of disease you are having. Some other doctor tell that there might be chances of you have this disease. Even doctors cannot justify exactly what kind of disease you are having, sometimes through CT scan. That is a possible scenarios are also there, like CT scan and MRI scan images. If you take by exactly by seeing those images also, some doctors may not be able to tell so exactly what kind of disease it is there. So that's why doctors used to tell that get the diagnose some more tests. Even the CT scan images, if even they take, and some other test also, they will recommend you to get those tests because of not getting of confirmation of those exact disease from that image. So in order to overcome that all these kind of things, by the image itself, it has to tell that whether that person is having, suppose for example in the lungs, if we take, suppose for that person is having pneumonia or not. Through lungs, whatever chest X-ray or chest CT scan images, itself it has to tell that whether the person is having the pneumonia or not. So how this is happening, how this he can tell means because of taking that image. So all those kind of images. So through image classification, we used to tell that the person is having the pneumonia or not. This can be done automated with the help of a computer vision. That is kind of the image classification. So another one is like the vehicle tracking. Suppose some vehicles are there, some so automatically. So if you are crossing the limits, if somebody is crossing a signal, if somebody is crossing the signal, so there is a kind of traffic light signals are there. In the traffic light signal, suppose if the signal it is showing the red signal, but even though if it is showing red signal, but if you are crossing the path and if you are moving continuously without stopping, so sometimes you will be getting the fine. So without there is no police, nothing, no one is there. But how we are getting the fine? That is also with the help of an artificial intelligence through the vehicle tracking, object detection, all these kind of things are there. So that also will be covering in this computer vision. So like another way is machine learning. Coming to the machine learning, suppose if the person is having the suppose for example weather forecasting. Weather forecasting they will having the they'll used to tell that whether rain will fall or not. So whether rain will fall or not today or not. So that is kind of the prediction. So you are doing the predictions whether it will fall or not. So whether it will fall or not, you will be taking the some more some attributes. Based on that kind of attributes, you are supposed to tell that whether the rain will fall today or not. So that kind of applications also which can be possible with the help of machine learning. So another one is example of suppose the person is having diabetic or not. Based on his BMI, based on his age, what all the reasons for getting diabetic, all those factors will be considering based on that whether the person is getting diabetic or not in the future. That also we can able to predict with the help of this machine learning. Even the stock market. If you take the stock market today, so if you are investing some of the money into the stock market, so whether tomorrow what kind of whether you have to invest or not, or whether you are getting loss, or whether you will get profit, that kind of estimations also which can be possible and which can be able to predict with the help of this machine learning. So that is also possible and we will solve those kind of problems also. Another one is related to house price prediction. So if you take the houses, real estate only, today, uh, today the price will be one rate, and after few days the price will be some other price. So the price will not be constant for every month, for every year. So every time the prices will get vary. So so the you can estimate, you can predict that by next year, by this month what is the price will be there for this particular house. That kind of predictions which can be possible with the help of the machine learning. And even not only that, if you see the clustering, suppose if you want to find out the what are all the kind of like so similar group of entities, that is similar group of people. If similar group of people, if you want to get together, so such kind of things also which can be possible through this. So if you want to find out the similar kind of data, such applications also you can possible with the help of this clustering, that is unsupervised learning. These are all kind of application like this. If we take from each and every application, this artificial intelligence is there. Even if we take the mobile, for example, whenever the facial detector by face locking or unlocking, if we show the face only, your phone will get unlocked. That is a facial locking system. It is possible in the mobile. That is also which is an example of an artificial intelligence only. So all these different kind of applications, how all these applications is came, how it is possible. All these things we'll be discussing in this course. So the course content which we are going to share it here as, so the data science, where we'll be cover the machine learning. So we'll teach here from the scratch. Every class in this class, whatever I am teaching in the data science, that is either machine learning or deep learning, everything will be teaching from the scratch. Everything is in hands-on. In the class itself, whatever I am doing parallelly, you are supposed to do in the class itself. There and there itself, if you have any doubt regarding the kind of content, you can ask me. So that is machine learning. So before data science, before starting in the machine learning, we'll cover some of the basics of the Python. The prerequisite should be Python. So if you know the Python, that will be more advantage. If you know the Python, that will be the more advantage. So even if you know or if you don't know also, we'll be covering the Python course here. So where we'll cover the all the basics on which are required for the Python. But if you know Python, it will be more advantage. And later we'll start the statistics. So before knowing the statistics, before knowing the Python, the prerequisite another course is SQL. SQL also you should know before getting into the data science. Python and SQL, which are mandatory courses, which I am going to cover in this course as Python as well as statistics. And after to machine learning, we'll be covering into the supervised learning, unsupervised learning. So we'll discuss all these things in detailly when the course gets started. Just I'm going to tell only the contents. So instead of showing all the contents, what are all the contents we are going to discuss, just I am typing. Supervised learning, in this we are going to cover as a linear regression, logistic regression, decision tree. In the decision tree, different algorithms will be covering. And another thing that is bagging, that is boosting. Here KNN also, KNN algorithm, bagging, boosting, ADA boost, gradient boosting. So everything algorithm will cover into the depth, not only flavored kind of algorithm which won't teach here. So which every algorithm required the mathematical intuition. So for every algorithm, if you want to crack any interview related to data science, you should must and should know the mathematical intuition. Every person in interviews, most of nowadays, they will ask the mathematical intuition behind each and every algorithm. So not only theory you require, even you should know the mathematical intuition for each and every algorithm, as well as Python knowledge also should be required. Even for every algorithm, you should have to able to implement in Python language. So that all everything will cover here. ADA boost, gradient boosting, XG boost, so coming to unsupervised learning, here SVM unsupervised learning, where we cover PCA, that is PCA, K-mean clustering, K-mean clustering, hierarchical clustering, DB scan clustering, PCA, K-mean clustering, hierarchical clustering, DB scan clustering, all these will be covered in the unsupervised learning and have a time series. Okay. So next coming to deep learning, where we'll cover to the artificial neural networks, So in these artificial neural networks, this course is entirely for data science. Only if you are requiring only for machine learning, up to this course will be covering for machine learning. This entire course will be taking for the 2.5 months for machine learning. That means if you need again still more deep learning also, we'll cover all these things in the artificial neural networks. So just I'm going to tell on the libraries which we are going to cover here as the libraries which will cover in the Python as Matplotlib, Seaborn, Plotly, Cufflinks, SciPy. SciPy is for statistics, scikit-learn for machine learning. All these libraries which we are going to cover. Even some AWS machine learning. So if required, we'll also discuss the AWS machine learning with through the SageMaker. So there we discuss some of the AWS concepts, and through SageMaker also we'll do through AWS machine learning. So and another thing we require the deployment. So after we'll do some of the projects, after discussing all these algorithms, we'll do some of the projects. For each and every algorithm, we'll do at least 2 use cases. At least 2 use cases we will solve for each and every algorithm. At least 2 or 1. At least one is minimum. One is minimum use case we will solve for each and every algorithm. Another data set which you are supposed to do. There will after that finally we'll cover one project. After covering that project, so how many projects is possible? Those many projects we can do. It is not restricted to only 1 or 2 or 3. So based on the requirement, based on the time availability, we can see the number of projects. So at least if you are doing one project, we'll go up to the deployment. So the deployment we are going to do into AWS as well as Azure and as well as GCP. All these three will be doing deployment for all these projects. So if you know all these three, AWS, Azure, and GCP, how to deploy those projects into the in the cloud platforms. So how after doing this machine learning project, how to deploy. So all those things will be covering in this machine learning course. In the deep learning, we'll be covering artificial neural networks. I am not mentioning the subtopics. So many subtopics are there. What we are covering, just I am mentioning. Another one is convolutional neural networks. Convolutional neural networks is nothing but convolutional neural networks where it is going to cover as computer vision. So where we'll be covered so many algorithms like vanilla CNN, LeNet, LXNet, VGG16, VGG19, ResNet, InceptionNet, GoogleNet. These are all for the classification. So image classification algorithms. All will cover into the depth. From the scratch, we will discuss and practically also we will do. And coming to next thing is image detection and the segmentation. There will be covering the RCNN, that is fast RCNN, faster RCNN, SSD, YOLO V1, YOLO V2, YOLO V3, YOLO V4, YOLO V5. All these algorithms will be covering. This is object detection, tracking, and segmentation. So all these algorithms which we will be covering. Next, coming to the recurrent neural networks. Recurrent neural networks, which can be useful in the both the as well computer vision as well as in the NLP. So that is not restricted only for computer vision or NLP. So in the recurrent neural networks itself, we will be covering LSTM, RNN, bidirectional LSTM. So encoder, decoders, autoencoder, decoder, that is autoencoder only. Next, another one is Bidirectional, okay. Next one is BERT models. Next, Albert model, Distilbert, GBERT, all these kind of algorithms in BERT subsection itself will be covering Albert, Distilbert, etc. And coming to GPT, GPT-1, GPT-2, GPT-2, GPT-3, that is transformers. These are all. So which is are all kind of NLP, that is natural language processing. So what each and everything we'll be discussing in detail, not from the flavored way. So in detail with mathematical intuition, everything will be covered with the practical also in the Python. So there will be, here we'll be covering the libraries like the TensorFlow in the deep learning, Keras, PyTorch, coming to NLTK, Spacey, GenSim, TextBlob, Stanford, all these different kind of libraries. So this is a data science course. So if you are choosing for the only machine learning course means this up to here up to deployment you will be getting covered. If you want choosing only the deep learning course, we'll start from the artificial neural networks to NLP. So here also, before if you are choosing only deep learning, we'll start the Python. So we'll prerequisite for this deep learning courses. Prerequisite for this deep learning course is Python. For prerequisite course for machine learning course is Python plus SQL. So here I forgot to libraries which I covered is Pandas also there. NumPy Pandas. All these libraries which will be covered here. If you choose only machine learning course, starting from Python to up to deployment sections, it will be covered in this machine learning course. But if you are choosing the data science course, the entire course will be covered. That is both starting from Python, machine learning, deep learning. So entirely, if you combine everything, it comes under data science. So in the data science, not only this, you require some other visualization tools also required, that is Power BI and Tableau. So these are also which it is required for you to get into entire complete full stack data science. This is full stack data science where it is covering everything. But if you are choosing only the machine learning part, just only will cover the Python statistics and different libraries, AWS machine learning and the machine learning. So where we used to discuss all these algorithms and will do the use cases for each and every algorithm. And finally, one project or two projects will be doing from the scratch is a real-time industry project. So how exactly will be there in industry, the similar way will be doing that kind of project. So not real time in the sense we are not taking the data from the real time, which we should not call as real time. That is the data which we will be taking from already available data. If already available data, how we are, how have to do that we have to do. So actually exactly the data which will not be available that much easily, that kind of data which you will be doing through the, that is possible with the help of the data engineering. Data engineering, where the data engineering people will be doing that kind of data engineering work to preparation of the data. So preparation of the data is called the data engineering. So that is the different course that we are not discussing here. Data engineering team will be doing that kind of preparation of data. So so whoever doing that kind of preparation of data, so the data should be analyzed through the data analyst. The data analyst will be doing, so doing the analysis through the, with the help of the visualization tools like Power BI and Tableau, which will be doing the analysis and which will be cleansed the data. So later they will be giving the data to the machine learning engineer or data scientist, where using the data, what it has to be done, what are the client requirements. So based on the client requirement, based on the data, what has to do. So the data scientist will do the task. So later it will go to the deployment engineer. So where the DevOps will come at finally. So this is the process. And nowadays the machine learning pipelines also which is happening, that is ML ops. So that also will be covering in the future. So these are the courses which we are going to deliver from the Go Online trainings. That is machine learning, deep learning, as well as data science. So whatever the course you are choosing, accordingly, the course content will be there. Okay, thank you all.